Hey crafters! I can't wait to show you this. I, for a long time now, have wanted to jump into some diamond painting. It looks like so much fun. It's very meditative. It's very relaxing. Sort of paint by numbers, but they have a kind of a cross-stitch look or a stitched look, and they're really interesting. What I found, though, is most of the kits they have different levels, beginner, intermediate, advanced, but most of the kits are massive, and they're really made to be a wall art item. And what I was really hoping to find was some small pieces that I could just have some fun with, just kind of play with, and not be committed to finishing this massive project. And in my home, I have a house filled with antiques, so it's not the style of painting I would put on my wall. I think it could be charming, but it just wasn't my style. So I didn't want to make this massive project and then not be able to do anything with it. So I looked for cards, and I found one set out on Amazon, I'll link it below, of holiday cards that were really cute, but I wanted more options. I didn't want to just make holiday cards. And I wanted to have a fun project that took just a few hours, didn't take days and days, that I could finish within a day or two, and just enjoy. And then what I decided is to make them for greeting cards so I could then just hand it out as a card and kind of be done with it, you know, and then they made beautiful cards. So I've made a few of my own designs. I used my Cricut, and I used my Xyron Creative Station, which is a sticker making and laminating machine, to turn my print and cut file from my Cricut into a sticker, although I just did it upside down. I made it a sticker on the top. I'm going to show you this. So I made right now a few different designs, and I've got more coming, but I'll have these up on my website if you want to just buy the file and then just load your Cricut. You still would need the Cricut and the sticker maker, and then the dot supplies. So I've been able to purchase these little dots in both square and round shapes in multiple colors. I'll put links below for that, as well as the diamond tools. So right now I've got a narwhal. Isn't that adorable? Fun little card. I have a rose card, vintage rose I call it. And this is the original colors, kind of a white and yellow striped background and a 3-color scheme on the rose pattern. And then I also, with the exact same print and cut file, so it was colored like this, made an alternate color. So you can switch up. If you maybe ran out of color dots or wanted to do something a little different, you can do that. And that's what I did here. I just switched the color scheme with the same file. And then this one's just a little simple geometric file. And again, this would be very easy to pick different colors and do. So that's kind of fun. And then all of these, I just put them on. These are small. They're I think 4.5 by, or 5.5 by 4 by 5. I don't remember. 4.5 by 5.5 maybe. Anyways, it was just a pack of cards that I picked up at one of the craft stores that had matching envelopes, and I just stuck it on the front, and now I have a little greeting card. I am going to come out with 5 by 7 size cards as well, and so that's the designs will be available on the website. So let's dig into this and let me show you what I did and how it came together. Now, once you've selected your design from craftcuriosity.com, go ahead and upload that into your computer, and then you're going to come over here into Cricut Design Space and start with a new project. So click on that big plus sign there. You should have a blank canvas. If you don't, come up to your top right corner, and the Save button right here will be highlighted, and you can save whatever you're working on and then clear your canvas. Then you're going to come down here on this left-hand column to Upload. So you'll come into this screen where you upload your image. You can see that I've already uploaded my images, but I'm going to walk through this process so you can see it. So on Image, you're going to upload your image. Now you can go ahead and browse for your file or drag and drop. Find your design, and then you can click on it once and click Open, or you can double click it. So that image is now in my system here, and it's asking me if it's simple, moderately complex, or complex. I'm going to click on complex because we're doing print and cut, so we want the definition. Click on Continue in this bottom right corner. Select and erase. You actually should not need to do anything with this file, so you can go ahead and click on Continue. It's sized and everything. It should come into your system under the right size, and you shouldn't have to make any edits to get it going, with the exception of duplicating. I'll show you that in just a second. In this screen, you have the option of saving as a print then cut or saving as a cut. you definitely want to save it as a print then cut, and you can see that this is highlighted green, meaning it's selected already. And before I save it, I'm going to come over here and tag it as well. That just makes it more searchable. So it's already titled Dreamcatcher. You could find it under your title, or you can also add a tag. I'm going to write in that it's diamond painting. And then click Save. So my new image is always going to be this first left-hand side image. So you can see there's two now. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that. Again, the green outline means it's selected, it's highlighted. And I'm going to come down into the bottom right and insert my image onto my canvas. Now, technically I'm ready to go. I have an image and I can start, I can go over and click Make It and get going. But I actually don't like to waste my cardstock, so I always print 2 to a page. I could select a second image outside of this particular design, the Dreamcatcher, but I'm just going to duplicate this one. So it's already selected. So I'm going to come up to Edit and click Copy. Then I'm going to click Edit again and click Paste. And I'll have 2 of them on the screen now. I'm going to set them side by side. I'm going to select both by using my mouse to click and hold and pull a box over both of these. And it's selected both, and I'm going to come down here on the bottom right and click Attach. By doing that, it sets them onto the same piece of paper and the same mat. Now I'm going to click Make It. What you should see here are both of your designs on one piece of paper, that's the white, and you should see this black registration mark going around both items, meaning that the system's going to be able to register where it needs to cut, and then you're going to click on Continue. Now this is a print then cut, so you need to send this to your printer, and once you've done that, you can come back and say I've already printed. Then you set your material. I'm using a 60-pound light cardstock. I recommend that, it works really well. Then it's going to tell me to load my fine point blade, load my mat, or put my paper on my mat, and then I'm going to load it at the machine. So everything else we do is going to be at the machine. Okay, I've come back from the printer. I've put my design on my mat. As you can see, it's one 8.5 by 11 sheet, and I have 2 cards on here. I just prefer that. I feel like I waste paper if I don't do it that way. And by the way, if you have more than one of these designs, you could put this Dreamcatcher on there, you could put that vintage rose on there, you could mix that up and make a few. But I like to have extras because they're just fun to make, so I like having a few spares ready to go. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and load your mat with your paper. You're going to load the mat into the machine by clicking on your arrow. Your machine, you're going to click on this Go button here. It's going to go ahead and check your registration marks. And once it's done that, it will cut out your design. Okay, once you're done cutting, unload. Take your mat and curve it to peel these off. And just stay nice and straight that way. Whoops, let's stay on camera when I do that. Here, I'll work on top of the machine. Just give your mat a little curl, and then when you peel it off, it keeps that paper nice and straight. There we go. Okay, put your mat away and put your Cricut away. Okay, now that we have our cards cut out, we're going to use this Xyron Creative Station to create a stickery top. So this, you flip this lid down and you feed your pictures here. Most people would feed these with the decorative side up to create a sticker on the back, but guess what? We want to stick dots all over this thing, so we're going to flip it upside down and feed it through our machine. Now, I have this larger machine because when I make 2, I can put them both in together and create a sticker. I have options, however, and that's why I liked the larger machine. If you were to open this up, the way these work is you have a cartridge, and it has, whoops, two materials here. It has a backing sheet and it has a film, and then on this backing sheet there's sticker material. So when you're putting things in, whatever side is down is going to get the sticker on it. So that's why I'm going to flip mine over and put my design upside down, because I want that sticker on the front side, not the back. Now, this one's great. It's 9 inches across and I can put the 2 cards in there. But if I were just making 1 card, I would hate to waste all that material. It's not cheap. So I also, with this machine, can use their smaller film. It's the same film, but 5 inches across instead of 9. And the way that works is you just insert this cartridge into your machine, and you flip this little lever up, and you just feed it on the one side, and you put this in. So that's not what I'm going to do today. I'm going to use the larger one, but just know you have options with this machine, or you can get the smaller machine, and at 5 inches across you can still feed your card into this. Just turn it so you're, again, not wasting the material much, and slide it in that way. I think, well, maybe it doesn't quite fit that way, but anyhow, you can just do one, but use this smaller cartridge for that so you're not wasting your material. So let's go ahead and sticker this up. When you load your machine, you just stick your cartridge in. Make sure it's lined up in these 2 slots, and it just goes down. Oh, helps if I flip the little green thing down again. Okay, so it just slides in. When you close it, you just want to make sure that sticker, I don't know if you can see that from here. I kind of just put my hand down here and hold on to this for a second while I close that lid, and just make sure my sticker is sandwiched in between the rollers there. I don't know how well you can see that, but I did make sure, if I lift this back up, that this little film is sandwiched in between the rollers. Okay? Go ahead and just snap it down, turn it around, and we are ready to roll. So I know that angle's not perfect here, but I think you'll be able to see what I'm doing. So I have my 2 pictures. Flip them upside down so the sticker goes on the painted side. Feed them in. I'm going to bring this a little closer to me so it has room to roll out the back. And then just wind it. Make sure they're feeding. They usually do just fine. And you can see that coming out of the back. I'm just going to tilt this. I think you get a better view. And then you just wind it all the way until you can see that your picture's out from, and this is the cutter. So just make sure it's just beyond that. I'm really trying to keep it tight so I don't waste the sticker. So once I know for sure that that's beyond the cutter, bring that a little further, then you just cut it, and there you go. We'll put this away. Okay, so before I cut these apart, I like to remove this film. So if you see here, it's all white on white, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. This one edge has a little lip to it. I guess this one does too, but before you cut around it, it's just easier to remove the film when you have something to grab. So grab this. Now watch what happens. When I peel this back off of both of those sheets, I think you can tell here, on this edge, there's a little sticker film here. That's the same sticker that's on the back of these cards now, or the front side of the cards. And this film removes all the excess. What's really great, get rid of that, sticky. What's really great about that is you now have this film, so when you're decorating your card, you can use that to your advantage. You're ready to have some fun. Now we get to stick the dots. So what you do is uncover your art and use this little backing to your advantage. You can put this in front of your art while you work, and let's see, I'll probably start with that center piece here. And I can put this down, and now I can kind of pick it up, I can move it around. If I need to take a break and go get to, back to work or something, I can just take this and lay it back down over my dots. It will stay sticky when you do that. I left it for several days and came back and I still finished it and still had plenty of stick, but I would protect that sticky surface when you're not working on it. And I'm going to go ahead and stick it here, and let's see, we'll start with probably start here in the center. You can start anywhere you want. With the larger designs, it's kind of important that you make sure you have a small enough area to work on, that you're not sticking your hand down on it or getting things on top of the sticky surface, right? Anytime you stick something to a sticker, you kind of start to wear away that design. So it is important that you work maybe in a top-down fashion, or if you're right-handed, you might want to expose the left-handed corner and work here so you can protect this piece with the material, the backing material. I'm a lefty, so I'm going to work top down. This is wax. I don't know how much you know about these tools, so let me show you. This is just a dot tool. I already have some wax in here, and this will do multiples. And I did get I got about 3 or 4 different tools here when I got this with different sizes. I like this one that places about 3 at a time best. This one places several more. So if you were doing a whole row, you can actually stick all those dots in together. I'll show you how that works. And so I had a few different sizes, but this 3, just because these are small, that just was the one I liked the best. So either I do singles or I do triples. So let's get a couple of dots going here. All of these dots are based on the DMC color chart. They have about 447 colors. They have squares and they have rounds. This design uses squares. I have several designs, a couple designs that are round and a couple designs that are square. I'll be making designs for both, but you put some of those dots in the tray. If you give that a little shake, it tends to flip them upright. And if you kind of give them a little shake back and forth, it tends to line them up where you can pick up the multiples like that. So I'm just going to come here and find where I have 3 in a row, and I'm just going to stick them down, and they're going to line up perfectly. Squares and rounds have different sizes. The squares are 2.5 millimeter little resin rhinestones, resin diamonds. The rounds are 2.8 millimeters. So they're different sizes. So the designs are specific to square or round, and they're not interchangeable. That's important to know. So if you're like me, I bought round and square because I had to try it all. And I'll be making designs for both. I will probably be transitioning all of these designs so you can do square or round. And I think when you get the file and buy it, I don't know if I'll have it done right away because it takes a little time to create these. But I will ultimately have it where you can get the design and download it, and when you do, you'll have the option of square or round, and you can print whichever one you actually want to work with. So I will get that finished, and if you purchase the design before that's done, you will always have lifetime access to it, and you can come back and get the updated version of it. So don't worry about that. I'll do that with each design and make it available for square and round. So this is it. You go in, you start sticking. You can do individual stickies. So the little wax picks up your little resin diamond, and then you come in and you stick it down. And that's it. And if you need to line it up, there are tools for that. I'll put a link below. I don't have mine yet. I'm waiting for it to come, but I can't wait. And it just helps make the lines really nice. And that's a single, or you can go triple. And you just start sticking. And this, let me tell you, it's unbelievably relaxing and meditative. It was really fun to work these. I did find each design for me took 2 to 3 hours maybe to work, and I definitely wouldn't take these designs and work them and try and charge for my work because that's too many hours to turn around and make a greeting card, but they're really fun to work. So to do them, to just have in my collection of cards for friends and family, great. That is wonderful, and I'll do that all day long. I'm just working on the background now, filling in everything. I'm just about done. All of the details filled, and I'm just working on all this back stuff. So I am using that larger side for sure now and just picking up groups. So if you give these a little shake and then kind of tap them down, they sort of line up for you, which makes it really nice to just, that didn't work, to come in and pick up a group of them and then place those down. Okay, so here is our finished design. Now I went ahead after I finished it, I just used a little Elmer's tape runner, taped the front of the card, and I just picked up my design and just placed it on there, and now I have this really great card for somebody. And you know, it's a lot of work to put these together, but I have so much fun doing it. So I don't mind that it took me a while to make the card. It was just fun, and I'm happy to just give it to somebody, and I think they're really going to enjoy it. It's just so interesting, the texture and everything. Just has such a pretty look to it. So I've had a lot of fun with this. I do have more designs coming. I've got a few more I'm working on now. And so that's my Dreamcatcher design. This is an alternate to the Dreamcatcher design, and here's the cool thing. I decided to just change the colors, but it's worked on the exact same printout. So I did design my squares so that when you put the resin diamond down, it covers that color completely. So you can change colors. And so this one I also decided I really didn't feel like doing that whole background. So I just did glitter and stuck it onto the sticky tape, and that worked great. And isn't that fun? So it's got the diamonds, but the rest is just glitter. So if you don't want to use up a bunch of your diamonds on a background, you can get around it by doing that. Those two are square, same design obviously. So those two are a square design. This one also is a square-based design. I call it Narwhally, the narwhal. I have the Vintage Rose design, and this is in the original color. This was the alternate I did. And today is Mother's Day, so these are my cards for Mother's Day. My mom, my mother-in-law. So that's the round design, or round bead. And then this geometric design right now is a round design as well. And again, I will work on getting these into both the round and square. So hopefully by the time you see this and you go look for that file, you'll be able to just download it once and have both options there. So I'll work towards getting that done. But I hope that you find this enjoyable and like what we did. I am thrilled. I love the way they look. I love that I got to have fun with diamond painting. And I love that I didn't need to make a huge, huge painting that I don't know what I would do with that big giant finished painting. So I'm really glad that I was able to scale it down, make it a DIY, and show you how to do it. So I hope you enjoy this. Thanks a bunch.